There we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well out there.
Hey, everybody. Wait,
Welcome
am I on?
back.
Can you hear me?
Hope everybody is doing good at the
Dave,
end of their week. You made
Dave
it. We all
Johnson
made
really
it.
wants that hinge, man.
Tuesday, I have confirmed. You get your hinge on Tuesday. I actually recorded it right when we talked about it. I didn't realize we had a little bit of a stack there of
Queue.
videos yet to be released. So I promise maybe it will be out there on Tuesday. How's everybody doing out there? Hello, sunny Dorset in the UK. Puerto Rico. Paris. Ooh, it's Friday evening in Paris. I assume it's Friday.
That sounds legit. Paris isn't Australia or anything. It's not that weird.
You just call Australia weird? It's okay. Nobody from Australia is watching. They're too. It's like 2 a.m. there or something.
I did call it weird.
That's true. All right. Hey guys. Hope everyone is ready to hang out, relax, have a little bit of fun, learn some SketchUp stuff maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I had a question came up from Akmar about the views, elevation, side, and plan view of the machine parts. SketchUp creates a 3D
Hey, Dave.
model and you can look at it however you want. So in that mindset, yes. There's actually the ability to real quickly set your camera straight above, straight forwards from the side. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, what you were asking, those views are automatic. So
You know what's funny is the first time I used SketchUp, because I think I might have already said this. I've told other people SketchUp whenever I started using it in 2004. Wow. Was all just a straight. It was a top view. There was no such thing as scale models. And so
right.
whenever I opened it up, there was a grid, and I just saw 4 same size quadrants, and I started drawing in one of the quadrants because I thought it was going to automatically, like rendering packages had been before that. I was going to draw in one, and I was going to see it reflecting in one of the other 4 quadrants, and it didn't work.
Wait. First off, there was computers in 2004? That was
I
a
know,
thing?
right?
Whoa.
I had to hand crank it to start it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's the power of templates right there, explained. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Thanks for everybody coming. We got Minnesota, Lebanon, Belgium, Puerto
I love how
Rico,
international it is.
Greece, Armenia, Baghdad. Wow, this is awesome. All right, yeah, so somebody's asking how we're doing. We're doing good. Everybody's working from home, so that's why we're doing so many of these.
We're all fine here. How are you?
Yeah,
That's my Han Solo impersonation.
that
What do you
was
think?
perfect. The conversation's
Thanks.
getting boring anyways.
Chucky, Wookie, we're gonna wait. Chewy, Chucky, man,
Chucky,
I
Chucky the Wooey.
need to back off on the coffee.
Oh man, yeah, this is where we're starting. Wow, we got lots of people still checking in. I don't want to sell anybody short. We're Baghdad, excuse me, Sardinia, Trinidad and Tobago. Dave Johnson said he had a PC in 1995. Holland, Texas, Hungary. Yanni started
Holden's
with
asked
Atlas
twice.
with version 3.
Yeah, that's when I started.
Wow, I think I was 6. I think just before Google is when I started using it. Italy, Vancouver. What is my job? You're looking at
It's a
it.
public holiday in the UK. What's going on? Is it like a normal every year holiday, or is this
Yeah, I
a
don't know.
COVID-19 holiday? I wonder.
No, I think it's like an
Explain,
official,
Andrew.
real holiday. Scotland.
All right.
Hey, Izzy, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream from Kenya, London, Kentucky.
What?
That confuses
Wait a
me.
minute. It's like Miami, Oklahoma. I was always confused whenever I saw that.
All right. So, yeah, you guys are from all over. Oh, it's still coming in.
Oh, Easter. That makes sense.
Spain. Oh, it's a bank holiday. Okay.
This is all
Awesome.
Easter related. I hope today is a Good Friday. Yeah, thanks, Colin. It's technically Good Friday.
Did Colin steal your dad joke that you had loaded up for today?
No, I said it at the same time he typed it.
Oh, okay.
So I technically was faster. Maybe.
I don't know. If we're a few
All right,
seconds ahead of the text, I don't know. That's like okay, anyhow, enough of that. Hey, awesome. It's fun to say hi to you guys. A lot of times we hop right into it, and I missed this stream at the beginning where you guys all check in, and that's awesome. So I'm glad we're here. I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with us. This is going to be fun. This is maybe just a way to take a couple hours off of the quarantine and pretend that life is normal. So with that, we're going to go ahead and hop in. As usual, I did create a topic in the forum. So if you do head over to our forum, forums.sketchup.com, right here pinned to the top is modeling a modern Adirondack chair live. I did learn to say Adirondack. So I say it without like skipping over the N that's not there at the beginning of the word.
It's like Armor-Rom-Mac.
Yeah.
Something weird.
I don't say it wrong. But yeah, so we're gonna do this. So there was a couple ways that we could have approached this. At first I was thinking about just getting a picture of a chair and just going for it. But as luck would have it, Mr. Izzy Swan from over at Maker's Playground actually had a plan of a modern Adirondack chair that his plan actually calls for a single 2x12 and cuts the whole thing out of it. So I thought this would be kind of fun. Rather than just drawing a chair, we're actually follow the plans and build his chair. So we're going to actually, as it shows in the plans, we'll actually go in and cut up materials to build the thing. I thought that would be kind of cool, and maybe we'll even do some modification when we get done. I thought that would be fun also. So have to give a shout out for that though, because Izzy, who's actually, I saw him on here, he came in and said hi. And Jody can maybe get a link to the Maker's Playground, but it is a social media platform for people who are into making stuff. So if you are a woodworker, maker, fabricator, whatever, you'd like to make stuff become real, you should check it out. It is a pretty fun, I'm a member, I believe you're a member too, right, Jody?
Izzy's listening right now.
Yes.
I'm a member, but I haven't signed up for a pro. I just have a free account.
Yeah. So there is a free and a pro account. With the pro account, you get access to things like their plans, one of which we're going to take a look at today. So this isn't like sponsored or endorsement. It's just a cool thing, and we like cool things, and especially things that support the maker community. So awesome. Check out Maker's Playground if you haven't already. But all right, so the chair. So I don't know how much we'll actually put up here. Dave's just throwing up the fact that he's an Adirondack machine. Is this a seesaw? No. Okay. So yeah, there's options out there. But this was the chair we want to make. So like I said, I was thinking about just grabbing this and trying to make the whole thing based off of this picture, but since we have the plans, I think we'll take advantage and actually go through the process, less of design and more of fabricating from these plans. So, so this is the plan set. I'll just show it to you. I'm not going to go through here. Like I said, this is something you can purchase. You can get through the Maker's Playground, but just wanted to call out and brag about that image on the front. That's a good looking picture right there, right? That's some nice 3D modeling somebody did. Good stuff.
Here we go. I was trying to find the actual post for the chair.
All right. There we go.
On Maker's Playground.
Awesome. So yeah, so this is the chair we're gonna build. So what this PDF actually goes through, and it starts with a cut list. So you have a material list down here at the bottom. Here's what it takes. A single 8-foot 2x12, that's your pick list, your initial material list, and that's cut into all these pieces, part A through J. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go build these pieces first, and then we'll assemble the chair. And then, like I said, I have some ideas for modifications we can do to take this sweet chair to maybe whatever the next level is after sweet chair. Super sweet.
I
So,
think that anybody making this should use Izzy's design for flipping your circular saw upside down and making your own table saw to do your rips.
or
I don't know if you've
turning
ever seen that
your
thing. That's a
hand drill
frightening
into a
beast.
sander, or yeah, Izzy's got some pretty cool ways to use
Ideas.
power tools.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start with, like I said, I want to kind of want to build this like I was building it. Like I'm going to actually go through as if I had my material, break it down into my pieces. I'm going to save each piece as a component. That one's for you, Dave. So I'm going to save everything as a component, and then we'll actually work through getting the exact cuts on there, and then we'll put it all together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start by taking one of the images out of the file, which is the cut list. Rather than going back and forth, this is where multiple monitors is probably what I would do. I would pull this up on my second monitor and then just reference it. But since we're down to one monitor, thanks a lot, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and load it as a watermark just to have
I think
it
you
up
should
there.
create an 8-foot 2x12 as your starting component, and then go through and literally cut every single piece.
All right, does that sound interesting to you guys? Because like, I was thinking about it, but I'm like, oh man, it's so much work to cut it out, copy it, make it a new component. So
Well, and then here's the thing would probably really get you messed up is the 1/8 kerf for a saw blade every time you do it. So you've got to chop just a little bit out.
oh man,
That needs to be a plugin. Needs to be
kerf at
while you
intersection.
cut it plugin. Yeah.
All right, that looks good enough to see. All right. So
Thanks, Dave. Dave acknowledged my nerdiness.
well, I mean, that's something people don't think of. I mean, if you take an 8-foot piece, you can't actually get a 2-foot and a 6-foot piece out of it. You can get just under, because saw blades, as of yet,
Well,
are not
unless you buy it
infinitely
at
thin.
your local big box, in which case they're either slightly longer or slightly shorter than 8 feet anyway.
Yeah, my designer, my building designer brain refuses to acknowledge that that's a possibility. No, if it says 8 foot, it has to be 8 foot.
Trust me. I've got a lot of 7-foot, 11-inch boards.
Oh, all right. So I think the way this is going to go to start with is I'm going to create these parts. I'm going to actually use the prog description as the component names rather than the part ID, because I'll just have to keep referencing what they are. So I'm going to use this as the component name. Each of these will start off as rectangles. So I'll just draw these, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rectangles, push-pulled to their specific size. That'll go quick. And then we actually have images of how those pieces are cut. So these, I believe the idea, and Izzy can tell me if I miss something here, but all these pieces are cut out of the initial 2x12 to create our initial cut list, and then we're going to cut them down to shape after. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to go ahead and hop in here, and my first one is going to be 2 15/16. So I am working in my standard template, which is that architectural fractional inches template. So 2 space 15/16 is 2 15/16, comma 26 space 1/16. So just taking that number off that first material up there, hit enter, and then I can take that and I can push that up 1.5. And now I'll triple click that piece and say make component, front leg. And then because we have 2 of them, I'm just right now going to go option and copy it. So
For the record, this is pretty much how I use SketchUp. Whenever I'm designing a project, I'm making it a board at a time like this.
sounds like I'm doing it right then. Jody approves.
Yeah, for me at least.
This is how, so last thing I designed that furniture-wise, that I built was my, you can't see them, I'm gesturing to things you can't see, was my workbenches, which I made out of a couple 2x4s and half a piece of plywood. And this is exactly what I did, is I went and made my shapes, and then because they were components, I could go through and actually like change the leg length, and it would change everything. So yeah, it's a pretty easy way to do it. So I could right now, so I had this 3x32 and 3x21. I could go through, grab one, make unique, and make a change, but this is such a simple shape that I don't see the need to do that. So I'm just going to copy it. So you guys feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Izzy, Dave's just a user, so he might not know anything about OBS, but yeah, we use OBS for all this stuff. And Restream for our chat. It's nice that they're all the same thickness. You just kind of...
Yeah, so far this has been
reference.
just, yeah. All right. All right, so almost we halfway through the list? 4, 5, one more. So this one is 2 15/16, comma 18. Pull that up. And then that is a cradle. You can't fool me. That's not a cradle. I've seen a cradle before.
My kids were way too big for a cradle of that size.
All right, so now we have a couple pieces that we have just individuals of. So this one's just going to be 3.5, comma 18. Has anybody been watching? Have I screwed anything up, right? I feel like I should probably have mistyped something by now.
Oh, geez, I haven't even been paying attention. I just assumed. Dave wants to know if there's a reason not to model the parts in the final orientation. Probably because you don't know them yet.
that's the one. Yeah, because I'm kind of I'm pretending here that I don't know where they're gonna. Well, because I kind of don't. So I'm kind of just following the information as I have it. So if I was to take this 2x12 and rip it down into these pieces, I'm guessing this is kind of how I'd go about it, where it initially just cut these pieces out and then assemble them. So I'm doing it more like I'm building it rather than like I'm designing it. So a unique way to look at it, I guess.
I'd be curious because I know Izzy has at least a CNC, if not several, in his shop. I wonder if you could lay out a 2x12 on if you happen to have an 8-foot CNC, and you could actually just do all the cuts with CNC routing. You need to save. Dave pointed out you needed to save.
Ooh, yeah.
Aaron saves. Is that blasphemous?
Not saving, that's blasphemous.
Oh, yes.
All right, there we go. Back stretcher. Got an arm here. 3 1/4, almost there. 1 1/2.
MCAD said to sip too. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, that's a teeny piece. Let me make sure I did that right. 3 1/4 by 1.5 by 1.5. All right.
How many of those?
1. Wait a minute, I don't buy that.
Something's...
All right. Well, I'm just I'm doing what it says.
We'll come back to that. Yeah.
We'll revisit that. All right. So this piece is the slats. So this is the back slat. I'm going to model this the other orientation.
It's 3 foot 1/4 inch.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it would make sense. It's an arm.
Or is it? Oh, is it 1 foot and 1/2 inch?
Oh yeah. That probably makes more sense.
Okay. So was that this? All right, so this needs to be 11 inches longer.
Morning, Christopher. It's not morning anymore here.
All right. Well, it's just afternoon. We're still close. We can see morning from here. All right, so this is
Yeah, it's
20,
just due west.
1.5, and then those are 5/8 of an inch tall. And this is a backslat. And there are 13 of those. So I'm going to copy it once and then type 12x. Gives me all my pieces there. And these, the seat slats, are a 1/2 inch shorter than the back slat. So I'm going to actually grab all of these, copy them over here. While they're all selected at the same time, I'm going to right click and say Make Unique. Make Unique says
Holy
it's
crap.
no longer tied to that last one, but now it's its own instance. So I can come over here and change the name of it from back slat to seat slat. And then I can edit one of them.
I did not know you could do that with a whole mess of them. I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
end up having to start over.
I'm going to push
It's
that
not
in
that
0.5
hard.
inches. There we go. There's our pieces. So that's not bad. It was like 10 minutes. So now we can start in and actually start cutting out the geometry.
So I often, when I'm doing these, I will take one set and I'll make it all, like I'll just basically paint bucket them with garish colors so I can easily spot my colors and my parts.
Yeah, that was when I was talking about the workbenches I did. When I did my workbenches, I named them blue, red, green, and you can actually see it still on the workbench. It says green on one piece and blue on another, because that was my call out. So here we could actually go with A through J, but yeah,
And
still.
Ted wants to know if there's a way of to know the number of objects selected. It says it in the entity info, right?
Yeah, sure. If I select some odd number, it tells me there's 18 of them. If I select a single component, it'll actually pop up in the upper right corner and tell me how many of them there are in this model. So it tells me there are 13 of them. All right, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's something I could do, is I could actually go through and tag these all separately. Maybe what I would do in this case is, yeah, that would probably be the easiest way to do it, you're right. Here I'm going to tag these as A, tag these as B, tag these, you guessed it, C. You guys see right through my naming scheme, aren't you?
Dave posted a picture of all of the different, or a few of, he says, the different Adirondack type chairs he's done. It's interesting to look at those. Although one of those does not look like an Adirondack chair. It looks like a sled.
All right, and we'll I, and finally, oops, J. All right, so what that did, by putting those each on their own tag, it actually gave a different color to each of them. And I can come in here and say color by tag, and that will,
On that.
okay,
Clever.
I gotta lose you, Laura. Sorry. All right,
Laura.
looks good, except these two look a little too similar. So I'm gonna come here to I and find a different color. How about a nice dark green? Yeah, that's better. And same thing with this mauve. Let's get that a bright yellow. Oops. I changed those on accident. All right, there we go. So now everything's a different color. We can work with this. All right, so at this point, we got our cuts, our initial cuts done. Now we got to go make them the actual right shapes and put it all together. The Maker's Playground I'm not going to show you guys the whole set of plans, but just some of the images that we got in here actually shows like some of the assemblies, how far, what's the distance between. So this side assembly will be real important when we go to put the pieces together. And we also have some assembly dimensions. So here's how the pieces get cut. Oh, here's the problem. So where that said 1/1/2, I think that's supposed to be 19.5. Izzy, got a typo. So I think...
Probably off fixing the first one. The
right
first
here.
typo.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be 19.5. This is my arm. I'm going to keep my entity info open so I can see the information. There we go. It was a typo. Okay. Hey, we can work with it though. All right, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to say 19.5 just to get a reference line. Then I can pull this down. Oop, it won't snap to that because it's a parallel line. So I just draw a little line here to snap to. There we go. All right.
Boom.
And I'm assuming that we actually need 2 of those.
There's a.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I really have OCD, but there's a little bit of some OCD tendency here as I'm looking at the fact that the bottom edge of all those does not line up. I'll even do that in my shop. Boards are laying out, and I'm like, I've got to get them all lined up at least on one consistent edge. It's killing me.
Well, then maybe this will be a growing opportunity for you because I'm not going to fix it.
If I cut out early, just understand why.
Well, hopefully these aren't just laying on the shop floor too much longer. Oops, I think I did something wrong. Let's see. What is this piece? Front stretcher.
So I'm gonna keep plugging Izzy stuff, I guess, because like for this arm detail he's cutting here, he just posted on Instagram yesterday or the day before this awesome angle cutting jig for doing tapered legs or tapered boards on the table saw, which I'm actually going to be looking for a design because I want to make me one of those.
All right. That's cool.
I just bring that up because I'm looking at this thinking that that cut could be a challenge to your standard home builder.
This cut?
How many people here are actually like home woodworkers or regular woodworkers or office
Fabricators of some sort?
Yeah, versus...
Because I hope not too many.
Architects or what have you. Because they're going to be critical of your...
They are.
Your process.
I'm worried that they are.
Maybe they'll find inspiration.
Maybe so. All right, so there's a couple ways I can do this. Basically, what ends up happening here is I get this long cut right here that goes up to 2 1/16, and then it goes in 1/2 inch. There's a couple ways I could do this. My thinking it would be to do something like this. This is 2. Here, I'm gonna do this too. There we go.
It's if you're worried that everybody's going to be a woodworker, they're definitely trending that direction on YouTube. But Transom did say you're doing a good job.
Oh, thanks. So there's a reference line, and then same thing this way. I would come this way, 19, and then maybe I do something like just draw that line like that. So this is where those 2 cuts meet. So if I just draw a line like this and another line like that, then I can delete these 2 pieces and push that down. And there we go. That creates our 2 arm pieces pretty quickly. If we just move through here, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to keep grabbing the next page. And the next one is the back leg, which I think is this one. Ooh, I remembered. All right, so same thing. I can just double click to enter the group. And then with this, so what do we got here? We have 27 and 7/16. So if I come this way, 27 and 7/16, and that'll give me a line right there. I'm just gonna again, tag where that is. And then this is
Looking at that picture, that back leg
pretty
picture,
tall.
and my brain was not acknowledging that it was a top view. And I was looking at isometric, and I was trying to figure out why I was so thin. It's like, what's going on? It's my brain.
Alas. All right, so then I can just...
Yeah, Gary, we're going to put this on the, or this will stick around on the YouTube channel once we're done.
I will, out of respect for, it was so nice of Izzy to let us use these plans. I'm not going to actually post the model, though, because that's basically what the plans are. So, yeah, we can watch it, but I'm not gonna share this. All right, so this one, I got a 25-inch cut, so I'm going to grab that 25-inch line, take it right by the end, and bring it up to... Can I intersect? I can't. I think, how would this go? How would I do this? So if I, oops, just this line.
The angles. If I was doing this with tools, then I would just mark.
There we go. I just had too many lines selected, so it wasn't letting me snap.
Oh, there you go.
That was on me.
Okay.
Ugh, that was the new guy screwing up in the shop. All right, there we go. So pretty simple still. So just go ahead and keep going through these. Ooh, hey, this one looks like it could be easy. Back stretcher.
Done.
I think is this one. Let's see. Back stretcher. 1.5 inches by 3 inches. Let's check. 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 18. Whew, that one's cut. Moving on.
Those are my favorite boards.
That's great. Well, let's talk about this woodworking like it's hard. Piece of cake. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. All right, back support.
We all need that. That's good. It's important, especially office workers.
Yes. All right, so looks like this piece is actually cut vertically, so I'm going to go ahead and grab both of them, pick them up, and then I'll hop in here. And what we got is we're actually only cutting in halfway, it looks like. Yeah, 3/4, so that cut's going to be right down here at the middle. And then what happens is it comes down 1/2 inch. So get that first point right there. And then, let's see. This is, oh wait, hold on, I jumped the gun there. This is 1 3/4 tall, so I'm gonna make that cut first. So go this way, 1 3/4. You could type decimals too, if you are so inclined and don't want to have to deal with hold on. Apparently I can't. I know that was wrong.
Less talking, apparently.
All right, 1 3/4. No, that was right. Okay. Sorry. All right. If you don't want to have to deal with that.
It's funny how quickly I understand that an 1/8 of an inch is 0.175, which is just, that's information that really nobody has any sense knowing.
All right. So from here, looks like we got at the middle, there's a cut down 0.5 inches. So basically, this will cut out right here. And then it looks like he's calling out a 51-degree angle cut right here.
Holy cow. Yeah, 0.125. See, apparently I didn't even have it right. Thanks, guys. Maybe 5 more people would correct me.
What's that? Is it an 1/8 inch?
I said 1.175 and it's 0.125.
Yeah, math.
And
See?
everybody.
What are you going to do?
3 people.
Math.
Yeah,
okay.
I should stick to my day job.
That's right. Oh, tough crowd, tough crowd. All right, so what do we got here? So 51, it's like that. I don't feel like that's right.
That's right. 3/4 of an inch. Psh, it's nothing, especially if it's government work. I don't do government work.
This cut right here.
Izzy said that's not right. You're doing something wrong.
I'm doing something wrong. Oh, if only the guy who knew what I was supposed to be doing was here. You're doing it wrong. Okay, so let me check what I've got. So right here, I've got 1 3/4. I've got 3/4 here, and I've got 1/2 inch here.
There's a typo in there.
Okay.
This is awesome. This is beta testing for Izzy.
Hey, yeah.
Perfect.
This is we're fine tuning here.
This is where it's nice to get these models in a get a SketchUp file like this, because you can orbit around, you can remeasure, you can figure out what exactly is not working. I tend to use SketchUp for troubleshooting and fixing my own mistakes on a regular basis.
You know what? It's a lot easier to go into SketchUp and cut something wrong, because you can always come back. So if I did come in here and make some stupid cut that's wrong like this, if I did this, I can always come back and do this in SketchUp. It's really hard to uncut wood in the real world.
Yeah. I've yet to find an acceptable board stretcher.
That's right.
Are you checking your dimensions off of the picture in the corner at this point? Or are you still relying on the dimensions from the original component?
I'm checking this.
You said it's a typo in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's figure this out. So this says it is 1 3/8. Oh, I see what I did wrong. So I got to come to 1 3/8, negative 51 degrees. So
That's
I
what
gotta,
you said. Negative angle.
So, but I got to get this back up here too, because my 3/8 is at the high point. So, hold on.
Dave said on the downside, all those scraps won't go into the wood stove to heat your shop.
That is true.
I know, although if you were to look at my shop, I have more scraps than I have need to heat, even in a cold Colorado winter. I have I don't throw scraps away.
I'm going to put this line down here. There's one on the back, rotate it over, then I can grab it right by here, and I can move it from here to here, like that. So that'll give me this cut on the back. Up here is where I'm at 1 3/4 inches, so I can put 1.75. I'm pretty sure that's the right number. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. That gives me that shape like that. Okay, with that, we're getting there. All right, so there, now I can go here, have my 0.5 here, come across like this, come here, parallel. I assume that's parallel, because that's where the slats are going to sit, like that, and then I can push this back into here. Now let's check some dimensions. So here I got, so that's actually, I've had people call me out on this too. Why don't I use the tape measure tool to check dimensions? You can go like this. You can absolutely do that. The nice thing about that is right there on the screen, it pops up a little, oh, I got to point this way, weatherman style. The little tooltip box pops up showing you the exact dimension. And that's fine, that works. That's not a bad thing to do. I don't have a shortcut to the tape measure tool. So what I generally do, I do have a shortcut. My thumb button on my mouse goes to the draw line tool. And if I click one point and just hover over the next without clicking, the pop-up says endpoint. But if you look down at the bottom, so it's down that way, it actually does tell you the exact length between those 2 points. So I'm not blowing off dimensions or by not using the tape measure tool. I'm just doing that because it's quicker for me to jump into that tool than it is to, you know.
We've all got our weird little tricks, idiosyncrasies.
Idiosyncrasy, that's the word. All right, so I'm gonna take this one right here and I'm gonna use scale to do a -1 scale on it because I'm assuming that's gonna be the opposite half.
Colin pointed out that entity info would show the length if you selected the line as well.
That's true. So I come over here, click this, and then it'll show right there. Yeah, but it's grayed out and hard to see, so that's why I don't like it. No, actually, I didn't know that till just now. Yeah, that would work too. Cool. All right, back support, done. All right, I'm gonna click here. We're on to the cradle. Which one was the cradle?
So I kind of agree with endless fix. Like to look at the picture that you were just in, even though you were saying you're assuming that that was that new face that you extruded there, looked like it was parallel to the back edge. In the picture, it kind of looks like it has a taper, but it didn't. That wouldn't make sense. I don't think. I think you're right that it's got to leave room for the slats.
We'll figure. We'll
find out when we assemble this thing.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like an IKEA manual when we get done making the parts.
All right. Right here, I have a piece that is. Make sure this is my cradle, right? Cradle, yes.
Oh wait, Tricky 2K said the back leg dimension was wrong. The leg is 29 and 7/16, and you drew 27 and 7/16.
Oh, really? I don't doubt what you're saying. All right, hold on. 29 and 7/16. 24, 25, 26, 27. You're right. It needs to be just longer. All right.
I love trying to do that too. Trying to turn my. Okay, that's 24 inches plus 3. Carry the 1. Nice.
Yeah,
Tricky
you're
2K
right.
saved some confusion later.
And I also, look at that, I cut just a little bit too much off there. There we go. See, that's what I was saying about a lot easier to fix that in SketchUp than it is in the real world. Real world wants you to, like, be conscious of things like, I don't know, reality and stuff.
You'd have to buy a whole new 2x12, an 8-foot 2x12 to get this part now.
That's right. So go this way. 29 and 7/16. I don't know what the fraction is on 29 and 7/16, by the way. That's madness. All right, so I can do that. All right, there we go. So now I still have 3 inches here.
That wasn't 3.
25 here. 1 and 9/16. And 29 and 7/16. Whew. 0.4375. Yeah, I'm not going to type that.
Whatever, man. It's just numbers.
Onto the cradle. Cool. All right. Let's do this. All right. So in the middle,
for woodworkers, how many jigs would it have taken so far to create all these parts? How many times would you have made a special jig just to create one of these? Sometimes I feel like I'm making jigs more than I'm making furniture.
All right. So I'm going to think ahead here for a second. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care. All right. So right here, these are my, are these my back slat? And these are my seats. So here's my back slats. So these are, I believe, what go into the cradle. That seems right. So I have 13 of these.
Yeah, so far it's only the, sorry, I'll type this.
So if I look here, so this cradle is going to hold these pieces. So I think to make my life easier when I get there, when I draw this cradle arc, so this arc is what's going to hold those pieces, I'm going to draw it right now with 13 sides. This isn't something I would normally do, but by doing this now, it means when I go to actually snap those pieces into place, I'll have a single surface for each of them to rest on. It's going to make it a little bit easier when I get done. All right, and this is 2 and 15/16. And this is
Tricky 2K is pointing out, and I'm letting you get through this, but I have a feeling we're just going to be rebuilding that back leg because you put your 2 inches in the wrong spot. Your
come
the back
on.
angle's still weird. But we can come back to that.
Okay, give me a second. I'm not doubting you. Like I said, I have not insisted that I am right about anything yet. See, and it's a good thing I'm not doing this out of wood. Awesome. All right, and then
I have to say I'm a big fan of furniture made out of dimension lumber or scraps. I have a lot of scraps and a lot of dimension lumber in my yard and shop.
I do too, but I work on a lot of smaller projects, so most of my scrap is this big.
Popsicle sticks.
A lot of popsicle sticks, some balsa wood. I have some pine plywood left, but I think it's a 6-inch by 6-inch square, so I can't get a whole lot out of that either.
Ooh, how did you manage to get that in the back of that car?
That's one of the great parts about being a miniature woodworker.
Yeah.
I can just take the regular car. All right, what the problem is.
So those angles look really extreme if you compare them to the
Right,
back
they
edge
do.
actually looks okay, but the left side.
All right, so this is saying it's 3 1/4. It's possible this whole thing is shifted this way. Let's do this. I'm gonna use a tool I almost never use, which is the protractor. I'm gonna drop it on the ground here, and I'm gonna go 31.5. Nope, it's not that way. So I'm going to start by coming across here and bring it down to 31.5. Okay, that is where this angle should go. So I'm going to grab this face right here. This is kind of a fun option to a way to modify, because I know this length is correct. We verified that multiple times. So if I just grab this face right here, I can move it along the green axis till it hits that face right there.
Boom. That looks like the real thing.
Right, so now let's verify some things, because I have not verified before. So vertical dimension up the red axis, 1 9/16, and we still have our 29 and 7/16 there, and then our 25 inch here. And the other thing we can do is we can verify, go grab my protractor again. Maybe I'll start using the protractor more often.
Why not?
Because it's not part of my workflow and I'm a creature of habit. That would be the why not. So that's 31.5. Over here we had 23. Let's check that. 23-ish. That's 25. Oh, I guess that's easy enough to fix too. Let's just go. Stop it. If we just go this way and we create.
Oh my goodness.
It's a big day. It is really, stuff is happening. Now I think I can do this. I think I can take this face right here, and I think I can rotate it from, oops, sorry, I forget my head's in the way sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
I think I can just rotate this from here. No, I'll have to create a snap point there.
Why don't you just draw a line along that guide and then pull it down?
Because then it won't be 25.
Oh, gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so what I have to do is, well, if I just grab this line and do it as a reference, I think I can go like this.
Hi,
and click
Elgis.
from
Elgis?
here.
I hope that's
It's
pronounced
so
right.
small. It's.
You probably have snapping. You have snapping on?
Oh, you know what? I still use the default. I keep not changing that. Yes.
You're gonna want it a little tighter.
Yes, I do. No snapping length, no angle snapping. All right, there we go. It's funny because, 2020, new version, and that's the kind of stuff I get set up in my templates as I use it, and it's still too small. It's like, it's 0.005 degrees, it looks like. That's even that's too small. Okay, well, I can fix this. I'm gonna delete some stuff. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get back to 2D. We're gonna work this out in 2D and then bring it in where it's supposed to be. All right, so this is currently 25. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this line, I'm gonna rotate it, a copy of it, to 23. And then I'm going to do this. I create a 2-point arc.
What was the setting you just changed?
Here.
Manos did not see it, and I was
Oh,
looking at
my
something else.
units. Oops, I did that wrong.
You set the SketchUp
I set
preference for unit snapping?
I went to my model info and I turned off snapping on units.
You were in model info. You were in preferences.
Preferences. No, model info. Because units is tied to the model, not SketchUp.
Okay. Well, I saw you go to the preferences menu. Maybe you skipped it. I don't know. I'm going to go look.
Go look.
Oh, pinwheels.
Okay, so this is so small. I'm really, you know what I should just do is just scrap this line all together, draw a new line. I did it again. I spent a bunch of time trying to fix a problem where I could have just drawn it again. Oops. Take that, rotate it from here, that end, and oops, just the line.
Well, there you go. Link snapping. Was that the one you used?
Yes.
Yeah, that was model info.
There we go. Whoops. Damn it. So close.
Dave's over here recommending you do the Dave method because it's too small.
Yeah, it's too small. So I'm going to sudo Dave method this thing. I'm going to scale it up by 100, fix it, and I'll stick it back. What is this other plane? Oh, it's the two pieces overlapping.
So
oh boy.
Design 8 keeps suggesting 3-point arc, but
I tried that, but it's so small. Even that doesn't work. Dang it, I just misclicked. All right.
I don't know. I'm getting a headache now.
This is it. I'm rotating it. I'm rotating it right now. It's going to happen.
Oh, man. Just redraw it, dude. Just redraw it like a normal person would.
All right. Look at that. There. Okay.
You bored me. I know I'm over here looking at Instagram while you're.
I know.
Messing around.
I got stupid with it. I sometimes I just can't help myself. There we go. Okay, we're there. Yikes.
While you're taking forever to this, I'm just going to ask. I'm going to ask the crowd. I'm totally going to get selfish on this. So I have a new bandsaw at home here, and whenever I try and rip anything that's more than a quarter of an inch wide, it tracks super far off. I can't do a straight cut. I can't make good rips. So someone needs to enlighten me on how to do that. I already tried the Alex Snodgrass method, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing. All right, that was it. That was my question. I plead.
All right, so I'm going to try to keep this one simple. Odds are against it. So my flat's here, so I'm going to come in here with the protractor, and this is 22. All right, so this is the simple cut. Boom, like that. Now what I got is this cuts down here to this length right here. I don't have that angle, but that's okay because I have this dimension. So what I can do is I can just come up 1 7/16 and then connect those 2 points together like that, and that cuts off that chunk right there. This last piece is 22 degrees in, so again, I can grab my protractor, go like this, 22, and then I can just make that cut. So my verifying dimension right now, if I go from here, actually this is my overall length, should still be the same. Still 22 1/16. And then, yeah. There, that was easier than last time. How about you look at the plan and draw it the way it says? Huh? How about that, Aaron? Let's try it. You know, and I will say, at this point, I think I put more guides into this model than I've ever used in a single live model before. I think I did a video on guides where I put like 8 of them in, so I haven't reached that yet, but. All right, moving on. I'm just gonna fire through the rest of these pieces. What's this guy? Ooh, look at that. Front stretcher. We've got some angle cuts here. All right, so basically this is one of those things where cutting this in the real world is going to be a whole lot more work than it is in SketchUp. In SketchUp, I can pretty much come over here. Let's see. This is 13/16 down to this point. I'm just going to put a line there just for reference. And then I can just say, okay, come this way, 2 9/16. Connect that together. And then here we have 3 3/16. Connect that together. And now I can just go like that and like that. So that actually ends up being very simple. Obviously, if I was really doing it, I have to go in here and set my table saw angle correctly, dimension that, get my fence set up, everything. But yeah, it's a lot easier to make those long. And look how straight it is. I didn't mean to rub salt in your wounds with that. Look how straight it is, Jody. I'm sorry. That was inconsiderate.
It was inconsiderate. I'm leaving.
All right, seat support. That's a cool looking one. Here we go. We got some arcs. So Izzy, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does reference having templates. Does the full, if you actually are a member, do you get a full pack of templates with that? All right, I'm gonna do my angle cut first on this one because
a pack of templates like for cutting out your stuff. That would be a great idea.
It's a C template for shape. So I'm gonna have to ballpark it, but.
Jopi wants to know how you turn off other entities and leave the selected one.
So
and since said yes, there are paper templates.
Nice, that's awesome. Since I'm in components, when you go into a component, you have the option here under View, Component Edit, to hide the rest of the model. So I actually have a shortcut key for that, so I can actually toggle it with a button click, which I recommend if you're building components, which you should be. Everybody should be building in components or groups. You shouldn't have everything raw geometry, that you assign a shortcut key. Mine's on my 3D mouse, but it could just as easily be on my keyboard, and that's going to turn it on and off as you go through here to build those things. I am thinking that, does that look right, or should that be backwards? Hold on, let me draw a backwards 48. Is it 40? 48 degrees. Protractor. This is not that big of a difference, really. Oh. I will just go ahead and do what it says. All right. So from here, we got a couple things going on. We have down here, let's see, we are, all right, so we're going to draw this swooping arc shape first, and then we'll use follow me to get, or no, let's use offset, it'll be simple. So the actual dimension here is 1 5/16. Which is right.
Have you done any kind of video on shortcuts?
There. Yeah, I think we have a couple few of those.
Are they just quick wins?
You know, I don't really truly remember.
I'll look and see.
Okay, that works. All right, here's how I'm going to do this. And this is where I'm veering or straying from the template because I don't have it. Which is fine. This will be fun. This is when this becomes Aaron style because it is. Let's see how that looks. That looks a little too reserved. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go now. I'm going to argue with myself real quick.
All right. Sometimes that's the only way to win.
Yeah, if you argue with yourself, you're guaranteed to win because, of course, you're also going to lose. Oops, I just did that vertically, didn't I? All right, I'm going to draw. So I just drew a line between my 2 points. I'm going to go from the midpoint and draw a line up, not on the blue axis. That's what got me last time. Like that, and then this one right here, I'm going to pull down. I think my butt would fit in there. All right, I'm going to take that and push that all the way down. Now, I can alt erase that piece. Now I want to take just this line and offset it. Actually, not even offset. I want to pull it straight down, right? 9/16. And then I'm just going to extend the line right there, and then I can push that down 3/4 of an inch. All right, so that gets me pretty close to my seat support. Good enough. It's going to work for my chair.
Looks good from here.
Or, you know, this is called a seat support on here, Jody, but I hear in some parts of the world they do call that a butt rest.
Nice.
See how I tied it all together?
Nice callback. Well done.
In case anybody wasn't here, was that Wednesday?
I think it was.
We had a whole discussion about buttresses versus butt rests. So it was a learning opportunity. Go watch the video. You'll thank me later. All right.
So it's been pointed out just by it's moot right now. Your thumbnail for this live stream is from Wednesday's session. That's got to be confusing to people.
I haven't put up a thumbnail for today yet. I put a thumbnail up
it's
after.
defaulting too.
Huh.
All right. I'm gonna. The question has now come up about that thing in your left hand. I'm gonna post a link if you want to talk about it.
You're right. It is showing that. Huh. That's weird. Okay, I'll have to go in and figure out why it's doing that. Because yeah, normally we have a default image that shows when live streams are happening. I'm not sure why it's showing. That's odd. Jim is saying it's actually taken to that video when he clicked on it. All right, I'll look into that. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't do. BJ's pointing out that I did not make that. I didn't make that 13 pieces because of that. I could have used a compound or a Bezier to do that and then said 13 pieces. I didn't do it that though. All right, these pieces, back slats, should be pretty easy because they're, 20 inches by 5/8 by 1.5 inches. I believe they have rounded off corners though, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that now. I'm gonna come in here and just put a little rounded corner there. Oops, that's too small. Still 13, so I'm just gonna drop down to 6. Double click, and then I'm gonna double click on this corner, and then push one end down.
Oh no.
And before I push the other end down, I'm gonna select and copy that. Because, so I have it copied, it's in memory right now. I'll clean this up before I go. Like that. And now I'm gonna come over here.
I definitely like rounded edges on my butt rest.
Darn right, this is the ideal, like that. So now it's going to have the exact same round over corner. I could have gone through and found out what the radius was and drew a line, but if I can copy stuff and don't have to like remember numbers or anything like that, it's very easy, it's very easier for me. Speaking of which, I need to put this on the other side here. So I'm just going to go to my rotate and I'm going to go flat and I'm going to rotate with the modifier key to copy it, boom, to the other end like that. And now I can
wonder if you've saved recently.
How about right now-ish?
Ooh. Nobody's reminded us, so...
Yeah, I really can't see how this is my fault if I lose everything.
That's right. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you place the blame.
I like that. I like that a lot. Awesome. Okay, so our pieces are done at this point. So the last thing I got to do at this point is put this thing together. Easy enough. All right, so let's see, what do we got? What do we got first here? Let's take this front leg. And let's see. Let's start by getting it vertical. And then if we're building it from the same view that, let me get that a little bit fittier. There we go. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to put this at the origin. So I'm going to start by rotating this back the other direction. I like using the rotate handles and move. It just so much easier for me. And then if I'm moving a whole thing around itself, now I have to go into a little more precision rotating because I want this to lay flat. So I'm going to click here, and rotate that down to 0. Beautiful. Now I can take one of these back legs, same thing. I'll start by rotating it up. So I'm going to use my move command to just rotate it to vertical. Oops. There we go. And then, oop, that's actually got to face the other way too. What are the odds? I turned off rotate snapping. That's why I'm having such a hard time now. I'm going to go back into model info. I still want to keep length snapping off. I personally find that length snapping causes me to put things where they shouldn't go. Rather than using snapping points, I end up snapping at a length point. So I'm going to leave that turned off, but I am going to turn angle snapping on. Now I'm going to take this, rotate this so it's flat on the ground on the red axes, and bring that over here. Looks like this goes on the inside. So now I have this dimension. This is cool. This is almost like machine parts. I love this. So this is saying that that intersection on the inside of this leg is 22 inches over. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to draw a line 22. And then, well, that wasn't right. What did I just do? Oh, 22 degrees. Ha!
Yeah,
that was wrong.
Like 22 inches.
Right.
You take back your complimentary comments.
I do. That's 22 degrees. Okay, apparently reading a plan is like, it's a muscle. And if you don't do it for years and years and years, yeah, you suck at it. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do instead. I thought that was a dimension. It's not a dimension, which makes sense because that's almost 2 feet and that would be way far back.
It's almost like you weren't really thinking about it while you were doing it.
It's almost like I saw something and went, hey, let's do this. And before I actually verified that what I was doing was possible or right. Oh, I blame the quarantine once again. All right, here's what I have.
There's you, COVID-19.
You make me so dumb. I have 17 and 7/8. So I'm gonna draw a line up this point, 17, 7/8, boom. And now I can grab these from that point, and I can just go straight back along the red axes till I hit right there. All right, so still simple, still not painful. That didn't hurt. Oh, all right. Now we got an arm. I'm gonna grab my arm, rotate it to 90 degrees. And I'm gonna just grab this by where I think I need to put it. So this is 7 and 13/16. That was 1. 7 and 13/16. There we go. So I'll grab it by that point. So right now the only thing I have highlighted is the actual arm. So even though I drew this line, when I grab it by this point and move, that line's just going to stay behind. I don't actually need that line to come with me. All right, so this is going to...
Manos is curious why whenever you're cleaning up, it's just, it just works so magically. He said whenever he's cleaning up some of the lines from his shapes, he loses surfaces. Sounds like he might be erasing instead of holding down the modifier, right?
Yeah, so if you're talking about what I did over here, when I got rid of those, I was holding down the Option key or Control, maybe? No, Alt. Alt key, I believe it is on Windows, to smooth rather than, so right here, I have Option to soften smooth. I was doing that instead of erasing. If I had erased, it would have put holes in my mesh. So I did not do that. That's what I didn't do. All right, so this is looking pretty good. The other piece back here,
It's Control.
Control, okay, is this piece right here. I don't have my exact angle that this is at, but I do have the point. Actually, I think I have to get more pieces in here before I get this one in here. So I'm going to temporarily just grab this and stick it on here. just so I have it on.
It's like you're putting together a puzzle now.
It is. Cool. So that's good for right this second with the information I have here. I know these three parts are in the right spot, so I'm going to grab them right now and make a group out of them. So that locks them in place, so I can't accidentally move them. This guy is going to I'm going to have to put the seat in and figure out exactly where he goes, which there's no reason not to do that right now. I'm going off script
Dave
right
pointed
now.
out you can just flip those now rather than move all the other parts to rebuild that half.
Absolutely. So I could actually just come over here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when these are all, I'm going to do a little bit more, but then I'll just take these and flip them over to the other side.
Yeah, wait till you get that the backrest in place.
Right. So to figure out where the backrest goes, I'm going to take the butt rest.
So every time we drive from Colorado to Oklahoma to visit my family, we have to drive past these signs for this place in Kansas named the Ass Area, which seems to me like it could possibly be like a rest stop, but I think it's actually the name of a city. It's not a city I would want to live in, though. I'd just be laughing all the time. Like a 13-year-old boy.
The Ass Area. All right, I'm going to verify with my image something. Yeah, so this goes right out to the edge, like that. Cool. And now with that in place, I can get this exactly where it needs to go by grabbing by the corner here, stick it right there, rotate, bring that to there.
Boom. Ooh.
Ooh. All right, so now that that's all in the right place, I'm going to explode this and then regroup.
Manos said you're like Harry Houdini in this program.
Ooh.
It's pretty high praise.
He was
so
just straight up magical.
Next Friday, you do it inside of a water tank with your hands shackled behind your back.
Can you verify that I can't get loose?
Somebody test the space mouse.
All right. So I have my top and back rests here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this rotated so it's in plane with this.
Dave, I saw that too, and I'm hoping that whenever we start putting the slats on, it'll all look right and normal.
This little thing right here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just wood, right? I can go cut it.
That's right. As long as you don't have to stretch it.
And then
YouTube's curious how you feel the Wacom tablet modeling worked out. Or maybe he's asking everybody else what they thought.
You know, I really enjoyed it. Like, I was surprised how natural feeling it was, especially by the time it was over. I wasn't even thinking about it, which I was surprised. Like I said, I told you guys, I'm pretty dedicated to this mouse right here. I realize this doesn't go all the way down, but until I get a slat in there, I'm not sure exactly where that goes. So I really was surprised at how well I enjoyed working with it, because I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit more of a struggle, but I really had no problem. And by the time I was done, like I said, I felt like totally natural. I mean, it felt totally normal. So I said that again, I have used them before, but I was surprised at how quick and easy I got to the point where I was feeling better. A lot quicker than what it took to get used to a Space Mouse, for sure. All right. So it's a back slat. I'm going to take this back slat. I'm going to grab it by the end right here, and I'm going to put it on the middle. No. Where's my middle? Oh, right there. Actually, I have an endpoint there. Oh, because I split it there on accident. And put it right there. And then I'm going to rotate on the green axis. Grab the middle point here and bring it down like that. Now I can take this piece and place it, turn my X-ray to the middle of that. And that should, everything should line up there. Yeah, see, this is still lined up here because that back slat then was right in line with the angle of the back of the chair. All right, is everybody buying this so far? Is this all making sense? Is this working?
This is looking good. I was getting ready to comment. It looks like the odd number of slats means that you've got a nice center one, a key slat, if you will.
I appreciate whoever designed this.
He's not even here. He had to go be responsible and do responsible things.
Ugh, it's the worst. All right.
Unless he came back.
Save. All right. Now I have to put in an array. So I have to get 6 more over here, 6 more over here. So what I just did right now was I went and found the center point of the arc that I used for this back piece. So I'm going to grab this thing right here. I'm going to say rotate. I'm going to grab this as my middle piece. And I'm going to come around here and I'm going to go from this point, option, and I'm going to snap to the midpoint. No, hold up. This isn't actually on a flat. This is tilted. So when I go to rotate, I can't actually rotate here. I have to rotate off of this plane right here. Tap the down key to reference that flat plane and now come back to this point and rotate that from this point, option, to this point.
Well, it wouldn't help when actually making this
5x.
While you're doing it in SketchUp. Had you done a 13 segment arc, life would be so easy right now.
I did. Oh yeah, and yeah, real, yeah. All right, but there's a but.
Yeah, no, we're working on the back area right now, not the ass area.
All right, there's a back.
I don't think Micah saw you do when you basically flipped the left leg assembly over to the right side.
Oh, I did it kind of fast because I was talking about something else and wanted to keep moving. I just used Curic Mirror. So I went and found the center of this arc and drew a vertical surface and used Curic Mirror with the modifier key to copy it over. That was what happened there.
Is there a video on Curic Mirror, perchance?
There's actually one of our recent extensions was a mini extension video, and it showed 3, I think, extensions. So yeah, check that out. Jody could probably find and share it. Okay.
I can and will.
He's the man. All right, so here's the thing. Here is the thing. So the thing is that this array, I'm doing a radial array to put my back pieces in. They don't just run across here. They actually run across this 3/4 of an inch here to fill up into this slot. So what I just did, stopped right here, left a gap, and had these pieces lapping over each other. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go to rotate again. I'm going to reference the top of this surface, hit the down arrow key to lock that in, because that's the plane. It's an angled plane like that I want to array along. I'm going to click here, and rather than go from center to center, I'm going to tell it to take, I'm going to turn on my hidden geometry, and I'm going to say take this edge and rotate that option around to where it would butt up against this edge. So now those two pieces butt right against each other, and I'll say 6 times, and we'll see how this all, man.
Wow.
That guy who did this knew what he was doing. I'll give him praise, the guy's not here again. Somebody tell Izzy I'm saying nice things about him later. Okay.
Nope.
I'm going to simplify this next step. Rather than doing that array, I'm just going to grab these 6 pieces and I'm going to rotate again. Do it again in case you didn't see that. Hit down arrow to reference this plane because it's tilted. Grab any of these points will actually work. No, actually they won't because it's at an angle. I'll grab this one and I'll say rotate that from, again, this corner right here, Option key, and swing all those pieces around. Whoops, oh, I zoomed too far.
Oh, YouTube makes a good point. Is do we tell Izzy later, or are you going to say nice things later?
Sounds like
probably. I think probably you will say nice things later. That's just a given.
I do say a lot of nice things.
And the only way we can tell him is later, because
He's not here.
everything other than right now is later or in the past. If you can tell him in the past, good luck.
That's a good call. Good call.
Sorry, it's
All
a little heavy.
That was deep-ish. Deep-ish? All right, so now I have pizza.
Pizza. I miss pizza.
All right, so I'm going to throw this thing, I believe. I'm 90% sure that this guy, whoa, probably goes right here. Yeah, that looks, maybe it might go vertical, but I think that looks good. I think that looks, I can't see it here, so I'm guessing it lays down flat. And then I'm assuming, you know what happens when you assume.
Explain what you just did. Gary, you lost Gary.
Oh,
I'm not sure which part. Which part, Gary? Clarify what wasn't clear.
The Depeche Mode. Wait.
Deepish mode, Depeche mode. I don't know. All of the above, man.
Okay, so now I'm at odds with the plan again, because this looks like it's just a bit off. I could actually probably just plane that.
I know, right? There's a reason that you keep a hand plane on your workbench next to your power tools.
All right, I'm gonna tell a funny story.
All right.
Let's see if I do that. Yeah, it's so close.
See, this is a nice thing with dimension lumber. This would all look just fine anyway.
Well, here's the thing about wood, is that wood, depending
swells
on
with moisture.
Yeah, moisture, a bunch of other factors, it might be a different size one day to the next. And we're talking about, what is this? Less than a 1/16 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it fit. I just shaved it off. Boom. Fits perfect.
Yeah. I'd be pulling a block plane out of my apron and just doing a little trim there. That right there, I can get over more easily than the misalignment. That bad spot at the back there, the back corner, where the butt meets the back.
Oh, back here?
Yeah, that can't be intentional.
It's not acceptable. Okay, well, we can do this. All right, well, I mean, Jody wants it fixed. We got to fix it.
Yeah, that's right. Jody ain't happy. Nobody's
we'll go
happy.
From here. Seriously, guys, he will make my life hell. Not really. I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to find that middle point again where I pulled my arcs to. And then I'm just going to do a brand new arc. I'm going to say arc from here back to, instead of going there, I'll just go here and pull it down like that.
Belt sander would definitely fix everything. It'll fix problems you didn't even know you had.
Oh, I got a problem, all right. All right, I'm going to take
definitely
that.
Gonna make problems you didn't expect to have.
Put that like that. And now what I just did was I made geometry on the inside. Pull that
Mari
along.
asked, can't you just move the edges?
Kind of. Dang, it's not quite. I'm just gonna line it up from here to here. And then I'm gonna grab those lines and copy them. I'm changing an arc, so it's not quite as simple as just grabbing geometry and shoving it around. I do have to actually recreate the face. So,
So this will be an interesting possible problem that could appear later, is now the length of that swooping path is changed. And I wonder if all your slats will fit properly.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
We will.
Oh, look, a stitching opportunity.
I'm not gonna do it. Watch what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna push line.
Dang it.
I fought.
Man.
I literally went against my own nature there.
I saw it. I saw it was about to happen.
But I
But that's
wanna.
good, because that's why I would always forget to use push line, or I would never use it, because I would just start stitching instead.
I mean, it was 6 lines I would have had to draw to stitch the whole thing. So, what's going on here? Oh, well, there's your problem. Missing a whole piece of geometry there. Got a little overdid it with the erasing. All right, here we go. All right, this one's going to be a little more work. This is not going to be quite as simple to throw my slats in as it was on the other.
So years ago, that we had this fellow, Mike Springer, who was just amazing with, and I don't know if anybody's created this again, but he had created I don't know if you can do it in or in Ruby. He actually had created, like, on one of our, like, we do these hackathons, and he had created a version of the array tool that would array along a path.
So
you could do a curved line, and it'll go, and it would just follow that path.
I was thinking about that, but here's the problem. This is why, this is the issue that I'll run into.
Endless Fix says there's something called copy along path.
Yeah, there's also, I just started playing with JHS Power Bar, and there's something that puts along paths there. The problem with that is it evenly spaces everything. And here's the issue we're gonna have with this one, is it goes this way and then it goes this way. So, sorry, Jody, you can't see my gestures. As it comes over here, I'm gonna be aligning end to end, and it's gonna, they're gonna splay out this way. As soon as I get to right here, then I got to go the other way, where the top pieces are going to hit like this and go around like that. So if they were evenly spaced with, like, say I had like a 1/4 inch gap between each one, that wouldn't be a problem. But in this drawing, we just proved it here, they actually butt as tight as they can. So I get what you're saying, but unfortunately in this one, I guess I could do 2 separate ones. I want to try this first though, because I think what I can do is I think I can rotate this using the center of this arc as the center point. Say Option and copy, or Option rotate to here, and I'll do that 7x just to put it along there. Yeah, and that mostly worked.
That looked pretty good.
So now I'll have to go the other way with the other arc. This one, I'll rotate. I'll rotate it from here up to flush, and then I'll rotate it from the intersection point out to where it hits like that. And now I'll have to take this piece and I'll rotate it Give me a point. From this point, and this is where I'll go from, again, my intersection point here, option to here, 6x, maybe?
Steve said erase the last one.
Yes.
Herman said you can have a 1/4 inch between the slats.
I can, but the drawing doesn't show it.
Oh, fine.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I have an extra slat. I'm going to have 12. I'm just going to have 12.
Oh, it only needs 12.
Yeah. I didn't, no, not like a, oops, wrong piece. No, stop. Yeah, 12,
Perfect.
12 ended there. But this looks like it might be different. On this one, it looks like the slats are out here, but this material, this might be a prototype. The image might not be the exact same. Awesome. That's our chair.
It seems like, so Steve said you can throw that extra piece in the wood stove, but it seems to me the Adirondack chair is really a summertime chair. So you don't need this. Oh, I guess you can use this for roasting marshmallows now.
Unless you're
not eating in
prepping.
the shop.
If you're building it in the winter in plans to, you know, do something in the summer.
Okay, I get it.
That could be something like that. All right, so now we've got this far. This was cool. This is fun. That was a different way to do it than like other woodworking projects where we did the desk or the clock or something like that. It was more of a design thing, how to turn a picture back into a SketchUp model. This was actually taking plans and building. It was kind of cool.
Did you already comment on this? Like if you look at your picture, the slats sit down in that little little rabbit, and then
that's what I was saying.
Sit on top.
So I'm wondering if this was like a prototype or something like that.
Yeah, it must be.
But hey, I like what we turned out, and I would if I had built this, I would be perfectly happy. All right, so now let's do some stuff to this. I'm gonna.
Well, so here's the question: Is everything just screwed together? Because I kind of want there to be some joint work in here. You know, I want pegs, I want mortises and tenons, and this did not really leave any room for that.
I'm pretty sure it's screwed. Let's see screws here.
No, the slats definitely are. I think everything has to be based on the
Well,
cut list.
Like this, obviously, this is going to get screwed through here. I'm assuming screwed this way, screwed this way.
The whole thing's screwed.
This is the only thing that maybe you could put a biscuit in there or something. All right, so here's what I was thinking. Okay, so somebody wants this to be this way.
Are you gonna add rockers? Make it a rocking chair? See, I would have those two. I would have a lap joint so that those guys were all 4 legs were, the feet ended up being kind of coplanar.
I thought I rotated that straight forward,
Nails.
but it wasn't quite.
Who uses nails anymore, Steve?
I remember nails.
I know.
Oh, so I'm just slightly off. There we go. All right, I was wondering that. Wasn't on the red line. Got a little worried. All right, so what can we do to this? So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, what would it take to make this into like a double chair with or add cup holders or something like that? I thought we could do some cool stuff.
You could raise the top. You could give it kind of more of a headrest.
A headrest, that would be fun. We take these and actually like give them the. I know we're getting away from the building a single everything out of a single 2x12, but
well, the only way you're going to get away from that, only way that you can maintain that is you have to go back in and remove parts. You can't add anything to this because there's no extra board left.
That's right. So I'm going to take all of this, and I'm going to leave our original chair. We'll stick that over here, because because it is nice. I'm happy with what we did. And now we're gonna make ours. So first thing I was thinking, yeah, let's get Adirondack-y. TM.
Would this be the appropriate usage of, let's use SketchUp? Wait a minute. Sketch up yours. Yeah, well, use SketchUp to make, no. Wait,
make SketchUp yours?
I just want to say up yours somehow in the middle of this, and I'm
tried.
failing.
You tried. All right, so I'm thinking, so first thing, let's add a half round back here. You know, that feels like something that Adirondack chairs have. So first thing I have to do is I want to create a plane that I could put the half round on. I'm going to do that using this right here. I'm going to start with a rectangle right here, like that. And I'm going to come over here. Excuse me, I'm going to have to actually draw this manually. Draw a line straight across. This can go on the red axis, but this line I want to stay on this angle. So I'm going to go like this, shift, and run that long.
Dave said, like make something out of the sawdust from cutting off the parts.
There you go. See, there's leftovers.
Well, this is dimension lumber, so you're going to be using that to make wood filler to fill in all your knot holes and knot bits that broke in the process.
So that kind of starts to look nice, but that's not enough edges. So I'm going to do an arc, and I'm going to use like 24 sides. Get a nice smooth arc. So I'm going to go from...
Did you make it unique so that you don't break anything?
Not yet.
But you can. You have that option.
So I'm going to go take that bulge up till it hits half circle. All right, there we go. Make that into its own group right now. Because what I want to do is I want to make a cutter. So what I'm going to do is come in here.
I might be dating myself here, but for some reason, whenever I hear cutter, I always think of an old Kiss song, but I think it was actually Strutter. But still, it's what I think of. Kiss was a rock and roll band from the 70s and 80s. You might not have heard of them.
I think I've heard tell of them. Grandparents talked about them a little bit. Yeah, I know Kiss from that Cheap Trick song. Remember that song?
No.
Oh,
so
that backfired.
Right, so COVID-19 came from someone eating bats or something like that, right?
I don't know. I don't know how much that's real, but...
I mean, yeah, I don't either, but I mean, like Ozzy Osbourne was eating bats like decades ago.
That's where you got that? That's why you brought that up?
I don't know where I'm going right now.
Okay.
I'm wandering all over the place.
All right. So right here, I have a bunch of components. These components, there's 26 of them in the model, are connected to this one over here. I'm going to mess them up right now. I'm going to mess them up good. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to say make unique. Now, you see, as soon as I did that, now there's only 13 in the model. So this was the first one. This is a copy that's similar but not the same. So now I can come into one of these and say push, pull, and pull that up tall like that. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be good.
Now you're going to need a 2 by 12 by 16.
Yeah, it's definitely big. So now I can take this piece. I'm going to open up my solid tools.
Wow, Gary's old. I think Gary might be the oldest person here. He's got grandkids and he went and saw Black Sabbath in 1971.
I didn't do a whole lot in 1971.
I was still dead.
That's a morbid way to look at childbirth, but
that's how my wife would always refer to her younger sister. Oh, you wouldn't know about that. You were still dead.
Ow! Okay. All right, I'm going to use...
They were kids. Kids say the darndest things, you know.
All right, I'm going to use my... I'm just going to move on. I'm going to grab this piece up here, use it as a cutter. These are all solids. And I'm going to trim this piece right here. And I'm just going to work my way around the circle, trimming each piece. The piece I pick on is the piece that I keep. the piece that's on the inside gets cut off, and then I can delete when I'm done. Whoops, I missed. Must have had that selected. All right. That's Adirondack-tacular.
Boom. That looks real good. And it was so much easier than getting to the original completed state. Now let's reverse engineer how to make the boards for that.
Meh.
You can make a footrest.
That's somebody else's problem.
Yeah. I'm a designer.
That's right. I design things. Gosh. All right. So okay. Now I want to double it up. I want to make this a double rondack. So what I'm thinking is, I know it's
like a love seat.
It's gonna get crazy.
Wait, save that one. Yeah, make one of these. Make it. Save that.
Oh, yeah,
so we've got the whole version. And at the end of this, you can one-up Dave with your selection of Adirondacks.
I'm not going to have 17 in here in the next hour. I can't.
You might.
I can't touch Dave.
Come on. No, with that attitude.
Okay, so I'm going to have to. How much of this do I need to keep? I need to keep some of this.
Colin wants to export a cut list. What do you think about that?
I think Colin can draw it and export his own cut list. Sorry. That was needlessly negative. I didn't have to be that way.
A little punchy here in these quarantine times.
Tell ya. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how much here I have to hold on to. So what I'm thinking, just for fun, is that what I'll do is I will keep one middle leg here. I'm going to modify this leg to slip under here and put that in the center. And then I'm going to combine these two pieces together to make one. So I'm going to start with this leg. I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to get rid of this leg. And then I'm going to take this piece right here, make it unique. And then come in here and I can just...
A little table between the two would be nice too. That was PJ Beatty's suggestion.
Yeah, that seemed too easy. That seemed like just a little bit, just having two pieces. That seemed too simple. I really like to make myself wish I had come up with a different plan by the time I'm done building something.
All right.
Which I may have already got to. So now, if I grab all of this, I'm just curious. I'm workshopping right now. I'm gonna drag that through to like that. That's kind of the look because I want to still keep that original Adirondack look. So I still have this. It is still a separate seat. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's what that's what I want to do.
Maybe make the middle leg. Oh, well.
Yeah, the middle leg's going to have to either get wider or get slid into...
I think I would make that wider.
Yeah, I think so too. So it means making this unique. Come in here, pull this to here, and then pull this to here.
Make unique?
That was already unique because I had to cut it.
Yeah.
I had to cut one, Jody. All right, so now these two...
Is that a fart joke?
I wouldn't stoop that low.
I mean, you can always win with the fart joke.
That's true.
I don't care how old you are.
It's just an easy win. That's too easy. There's no depth to a fart joke.
What you're missing out in the chat is that apparently we have a lot of old fogies in the group. No offense, guys. Everybody's older than me. It's always nice to find a group of people that are not 47.
We had a self-confessed boomer. I don't make okay boomer jokes. Don't worry.
My kids do. I don't think they even really appreciate. They don't even talk to boomers. They just call each other boomers as insults.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's gotten dumb. All right, I'm gonna take these. The thing about it is, like, originally I kind of got the joke. Like, yeah, I kind of got where it came from, but it pretty immediately. Oh, YouTube called it. You're right. So what if I put a big piece of plexiglass right from here up around to here? Yeah, this is to be built now for the future. All right, so I'm going to take both of these pieces. The way I'm going to go about combining these two is I'm going to take both of them and put them in a group together. So I have them both selected right now. I'm going to say make group. Now I'm going to come in here, and I have these two pieces crossing over each other. They are both solids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make both of them unique, and then I'm going to outer shell it. And that gives me one piece in a real quick work right there. I'll do the same thing back here with this piece, these two pieces. I'll grab them, make a group, go in, again, make unique, and then outer shell them. That's not too bad. That was not painful. This is going to be a weird piece because this is now 2 1/4. So get some 4x materials to cut this out of. Yeah, so I haven't actually done the official discussion here. This right here is what we call a 3D mouse. Specifically, this is the Space Mouse Enterprise from 3D Connection. What it does is it allows you to, normally zooming is all done in SketchUp with your middle button, which is awesome. It's super easy to zoom in and out just by scrolling in and out, holding down the middle button and then moving around. It's one of the cool things. One of the things that actually made me really appreciate SketchUp was how easy it was to move in 3D space. Before I had used SketchUp, a lot of the 3D modeling software I used had like quadrants, or you had to jump to views or something like that. So this was very nice, the ability to do this. The 3D mouse actually takes control of that, so I can move in 3D space without having to use my mouse at all. Absolutely not a requirement. You don't have to have it to use SketchUp, but what it does is two things. One is it gives you these nice smooth movements like this, which is great for like presentation. So this is how SketchUp users are used to seeing the world, and it's fine. Actually, if your brain is the one doing the scrolling and the spinning, it's not upsetting at all, but watching that for a couple hours can be a little bit jarring. So that's one of the reasons I use it on the live streams, is it gives nice smooth movements. The other thing is it leaves your mouse free to do whatever you need it to do while you're zooming. So if I'm zooming from this chair to the other chair and then I'm going to paint it, I can just start to slide across, and while I'm moving, I'll come up here, pick the paint button, pick the color I want to use, and by the time I'm here, I'm already ready to go. So it's a nice presentation tool, but it's also a time saver if you do a lot of 3D design.
I think the other day someone asked why your computer was so buttery smooth, and I think that's probably what they were talking about. Was
yeah, that could be.
You're using the mouse.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have a very high-end computer. It's just a regular old MacBook. But
you
yeah,
got
that's
several
probably
people wanting you to extend the armrests and put cup holders in it.
Oh, my people! It's like you knew what I was thinking. That's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, so I have these two in group still, so I'm gonna go ahead and explode them. I'm gonna grab these two.
You pointed another benefit of not using the mouse for everything is there's not that clop, clop, clop as you're moving your mouse around as you get to the edge of your pad.
That?
Yeah. You sound like a horse counting.
Does that sound good?
How many buckets of grain do you want?
All right. So there's potentially an issue here, but we're gonna go for it. Issues be darned. So I'm gonna come in here to this, and I think I want to work in 2D first. So I'm gonna drop this back down to nothing. Whoops. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna delete these top. Come on, man. I want to hold on to one line. Yeah, forget you. I'm out. All right. So I'm gonna do my cup holder in 2D. All right. Now I need help. Before I go any further, here's what I need. What is the ideal size for a cup holder? I'm waiting on comments now.
1 cup.
Nope.
Oh wait, that's a unit. That's a volume. Dang it.
So here's my problem, and this is always my problem with cup holders, is you have like a pint glass versus like a water bottle, and somebody's gonna lose out, right? So how big should a cup holder be? I'm honestly asking because I don't really know how big to put it. I got 120 millimeters, so I don't know what that means. I got 3 inches, 3.15, big gulp size, 3 inches. Okay, so 3 inches is coming back as a fairly standard size. We'll try it. We'll give it a shot.
I feel like in a case like this, like the size of a can, aluminum can kind of thing, right? You're sitting out there with your soda or your pop or your beer, but you got to have something underneath it to catch it. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
going to fall
so I'm
through.
kind of thinking maybe we'll make this 2 pieces. So I'm going to start by giving myself a little more space here. And then I'm going to do a counter arc right here. Oops, I still have, it worked. All right, so give myself a little bit more of a, it's also kind of Adirondack-y looking. And I'm going to draw a circle. So let's see, I'm going to use the same inference here. So let's see what 1.5, that's 3 inches.
Chris Ryan said 3 inches also works for a wine bottle. That's when you're really committed to your drink.
Woo! That doesn't sound like a warm summer day beverage either.
That sounds like that'll get you through a couple days, or at the very least, you drink enough, you pass out. The next day,
Well, let's
you
hope
wake
this
back up
is
and
a comfortable enough chair to accommodate a whole wine bottle, if you know what I mean. All right, so that's 3 inches. That's a little tight. That's not ideal there. So maybe I'm thinking come out a little bit further.
I feel like my drinking game is not on point here because the comments are it won't fit. It won't accommodate a wine bottle. It won't accommodate a vodka bottle.
Whoa.
I don't know. You can
Whoa!
drink like a.
Whoa! Whoa! I'm
What's
gonna
that-
assume that's quarantine
what's that
talking,
one skinny
guys.
drink?
I know we're all in a weird place. We gotta do what you gotta do to get through this. All right, so I'm gonna pull a new arc out. I want it to be fairly smooth, so I'm gonna go with like 36 sides. Pull that out. Oh, that didn't work. 36. Forget to hit enter
Colin
a
says
lot.
that Google says it's 2.675 inches, but I don't know. I feel like Google's kind of a lightweight, especially after reading some of these other comments.
Oops. I honestly don't know what I just did. All right.
I don't either, but it's exciting.
36. Stuff's just flashing. Stuff's disappearing. All right, so I'm going to start. Dang it, come on, man. Type 36 and hit enter. I just refuse to hit enter. I got an attitude problem. I need to take my attitude home for the weekend and adjust it. All right, now I'm going to draw another arc. Small, like 6 sides, just to draw this counter arc. There we go. That's a little bigger, but let's see how 3 inches fits in there.
Save it.
Save. Circle. All right, that I'm good with. It's got enough meat on there that it's not gonna run into too many problems.
Mead? Oh, now we're stepping into a completely different drinking room. Wait, did you say mead?
I did not. Okay. There we go. Wasn't sure if that was really a thing or if that was something on my screen. It's been a while since I've tried to erase dirt on my screen, so I'm due.
So, Maya, we're gonna do that next.
No, my designer sensibilities are irritated with this flat section here.
There's so much about that armrest that is just kind of killing me right now. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't. This is not working.
Yeah, taper the hole, chamfer the edges, get rid of at least get rid of the corner on that front end of that straight spot.
All right, so I'm gonna go bump up to 48 sides and get my
Hailstorm. Steve's experiencing a hailstorm somewhere.
Ooh.
Ugh. It's supposed to snow here on Sunday. I'm excited.
Is that
Excited?
sarcasm?
No, that's not the right word. Yeah, I think that's the wrong word choice.
Irritated?
That could be it. I'm trying to decide if I need to get my lawnmower ready to start cutting grass or go out and buy a snowblower. to make my way through the rest of spring.
Sounds like you live in Colorado to me. All right. All right. So
You know what they say? If you don't like the weather in Colorado, go back to Texas.
Ooh.
Or something like that. Yeah.
That's as close as we've ever come to political on this show.
That's a little local humor.
Uh-oh. I had some arcs not quite line up here.
Looks like you cut that with your jigsaw by hand.
Looks like I cut it with your bandsaw, is what I hear.
Oh, nice. Way to bring it back. You're getting really good at that.
I'm getting. Oh, see? That right there is not a spot. That is on my screen.
The first one was a spot, though. You did erase a spot. Good on you.
I had a real thing. And then I tried to erase a fake thing. Okay, so yes, let's talk taper. So I can see two things happening here, which I've seen in cup holders before. This is fairly deep. This is 1.5 inches, so that's not that deep, I guess. So we could taper. The other thing we could do is we could put another piece of material down here underneath to create a spot to rest in. Thoughts?
That'll work. I like the idea of just getting in there and screwing a piece of leather, a little strap of leather underneath it. And then
Ooh, that's fancy.
I don't know. It feels a little folksy.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this circle, copy it, come out of context, paste in place. Is that too big? That's too much. Let's not get silly.
Oh, I can see the bottom of your little jigsaw spot there on the right. I don't like that.
Oh, nuts.
Fix it.
Yes, yes. Wood filler.
Just says just leave the bottom in place and pull it up 1/2 inch. Which, yeah, a couple of people said really only needs to be 1/2 inch. How thick is that armrest?
How would you make that happen? This is 1.5 inches.
Well, you can use a hole saw and I mean, I know how I would make it happen, but in SketchUp it's easy. You just draw it.
We're building this out of wood, man. Come on.
Oh, then I would use a hole saw and I would just drill a hole out and then chisel the bits out.
I don't have a 3-inch hole saw. What, you don't like that? That doesn't look good? It looks nice. Shut up, guys.
They're not that hard to come by. Router. Chris Ryan said router. Could do that.
Okay, fine. I like my little plug there, but we'll come in here. All right, so how deep should a cup holder be then? How far should we bring this up?
1/2 inch is what was suggested.
All right.
You know, just for the educational part of this, and since Gary's asking,
let's taper it anyhow.
I'd like to know how you would do a taper. Yeah.
Yes, let's. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Fine. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So now I got to 1 inch deep. So if I wanted to make it taper down, all I'd have to do is select the surface on the inside, hit scale, and then I probably would grab a corner like this, hit Option or Control on Windows to scale about the middle, and then also hold down Shift, which is give me uniform scale. Or no, not Shift, because I'm on the corner. And I'll go to like 0.85, and that'll give me a taper. So now I will have to use a router bit of some sort. But yeah, there we go.
Or you could just use the
guess who didn't make unique?
That's all right. They all get it now.
That's right.
I don't know, man. Something about those armrests look like Lego arms to me.
I like that. You're right.
Maybe
I'm gonna make one more change. But first, I think this will fit. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna copy it. And now I'm gonna undo a whole bunch. I'm gonna see if I can get back to my original arms over here. Did I do less than 100 moves? I did. Okay. So now I'm back here. Now what I can do is hit Control V, and that'll give me back that thing I just copied. So now I can just come in here,
look at that.
delete this, delete this. Oops, actually what I should do is say edit, paste in place. And now
Boom.
I can delete that. I'm gonna get it over here. I'll use Keurig Mirror. This is what I did before while I was talking about something else. I'm gonna grab a middle point of the chair, draw a line straight up, straight back, and then connect the two. This is my mirror flag. Get rid of this one. Select this, say mirror, modifier key, boom. Now I got two again. I agree. I think there's something not quite right about this, so I want to fix it. I'm going to make a more regular looking paddle, I guess. I don't know what this is all called.
It just doesn't look like it matches the aesthetic of the rest of the.
It doesn't. The modernness of the clean cuts, the square cuts are throwing it off. So I'm just curious if this will work. If I pull this.
Curious mirror. Wait, sorry, no, that's bad. That's pretty weak. YouTube encouraged you to say something nice. I don't think Izzy's back, but it is later, so you could say something nice about Izzy.
Izzy's still real nice.
He's still
Is that
nice.
enough? Is that just a little too? No, I really, in all seriousness, we're joking around a little bit, but I really do. This has been a very cool plan set to work on.
I just like that it's kind of a different take on. It's considerably simpler than doing what was that tower? The bridge, London Bridge Tower thing, London Tower.
Yeah, it's definitely.
What was that called?
Tower Bridge.
Yeah, Tower Bridge. It's a completely different beast.
Yeah, this is a different process for sure. All right, is that better? Does that work?
Yeah, I think
is that acceptable?
I mean, it still looks really thick to me, but
well, it is a 2x4. I mean, or a 2x12. Well, I think that's part of what makes this kind of nice. Is it's very sleek. It's the modernness.
Yeah,
this is more. We've definitely gone more classic Adirondack over here, without the big slats.
I think Christopher has it right. Is the armrest? Maybe it's not the armrest looks. Now it just makes the legs look too fragile because they're thin by comparison.
All right, so let's do this. Oops, I messed something up there. That shouldn't have to be triangulated. So I will erase that.
This is what happens when you start messing around.
This welcome to my life. All right, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to offset this. Maybe, yeah, 0.5. So I'm going to give at least a ½ inch. This is just like a warning for me. Don't go past this material. It gives me a ½ inch. Continue this line out like this. I'll do the same thing over here. Take that back to there. Continue that on out to there. All right, now I don't really need this at all. Okay. And then from there, let's see what happens if I just get rid of all that. Don't need it. Get rid of all this. Also don't need it. And then
I don't know if Dave Johnson's making a callback here, but you could put a gusset under the armrest. Could stabilize it.
One could. We could gusset it up.
I don't think you're using that right. I don't know.
Gussetate it? Gus.
I don't know. It's starting to feel like a gusset game. No? Yeah, it's pretty weak.
I just don't know what that was.
It was weak. I just said.
All right. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
MCAD said you could make a square cup holder. I don't have. Oh, I do have a square cup. One square cup. BJ said Corbel, which don't they make champagne?
Corbel.
Oh,
I don't know.
never mind.
I also don't know. Whoa. Okay, so that was actually an edge. Okay, is that more better? Still look beefy, don't they?
That looks more on brand,
Okay.
other
So
than where it doesn't line up with the edge of the leg.
so here's the thing that's happening right now. Because we moved all this stuff around so much. Can I see daylight through there? This arm is no longer where it should be. See that? It's off of here. It's not connecting here. I could take this right now as it is and like try to move it around, and I could do that. I could move it. I could use rotate to rotate it back like that, but I only did one. Now I'd have to come over and do this other one too. So one of the things I could do instead is double click, go into the geometry itself. Now I can triple click this geometry and say, okay, now take that, move it over, and then rotate it from, oops, I don't think I quite moved it over enough. There we go. Rotate it from that intersection point to get this leg up against here. And by rotating the geometry inside the container, I actually did both. So both of them line up again now. This is kind of nice too, that I don't have that chunk of wood sticking out where, you know, when I go to use the buttress, I don't have to worry about clipping myself on there or anything. I can just slide right back in. Well, I'm not going to say we improved on Izzy's chair because I think Izzy's chair is cool. And I was actually talking to Jody about, you know, maybe I need to actually get a couple 2x12s and make that. The way I do woodwork, I'll have to get at least 5 2x12s to make that.
Well, but I think if you just get a 10-foot instead of an 8-foot, I don't know.
Well, I guess
I'd
most of
have
these
to
pieces,
some
most of
work
these
on that.
pieces are less than 2 foot long. So I think that would actually, this one's longer than 2 foot, but most of these pieces are less.
So
I
just
think
don't
the
screw
legs
that one
are
up.
over 2, but I think everything else is under 2. So that extra 2 feet might be it. It might be all I need.
Perfect. Now, so the question is, do you go to the orange store or the blue store or the local brand budget?
Honestly, having all of the options, and this is very interesting. So we have the orange one on one side of town, blue on the other, and I've mapped it. It's almost exactly the same distance from my house.
It's funny that it is for me too. I mean, it's literally I've timed it both ways.
So I choose the one I go to based on the number of right turns versus left turns I have to make to get there.
So apparently we are kind of equidistant, like completely straight line as a crow flies from one another. So you're going to the blue store and I'm going to the orange store.
Yep, I go blue because I turn rights.
Yeah. I went to the orange store yesterday and they have turnstile set up so that you have a queue. They're not letting more than 100 people in at a time. And
that's cool.
And they've got like a little guy counting the people going in and the people going out as you go in there.
That's
so I
pretty
had on
cool.
my little mask, my little custom made mask, my gloves. That's very weird.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of creative people on here. Are you guys making your own masks? Is that how this is working right now? I know we're dating this video by talking about what's going on in the world, but we're hanging out. It's Friday afternoon.
Hey, this is a part of life now, man. Even in the future, we don't want the
right.
people in the future to forget about.
Never
this.
forget.
Never forget. A blue store and an orange store would be Lowe's and Home Depot, respectively.
Yeah, sorry. That's a regional American thing. If you're not here, you probably didn't catch that. Yeah. But yeah, it's the two competing hardware stores. Yeah, it was interesting to know that hardware stores are considered essential, which I kind of furrowed my brow at, just like I just did for real at that. But it turns out, well, because like if a pipe breaks or something like that, you have to be able to get there.
Well, based on how many cars were in the parking lot at Home Depot, it was the busiest place that I've seen, and this was at like 11 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Steve said his daughter and wife had made about 100 masks. That's awesome. That's really
That's
cool.
really cool.
That's very, very cool. And
I
then,
have a I have a friend that's made some masks, and she just made one for me. I don't have any N95s. I just have one of those RZ masks.
mhm.
But like you're supposed to wash if you go out in public, you're supposed to wash your mask afterwards. So I don't want to use any of my good stuff. I want to use something that I can rewash easily.
Yeah, and that's
It's my
that's
only
the
tricky part.
problem is so they're saying the cotton masks that you wear are really the only thing they really do good at is keeping your stuff from coming out. So if you're asymptomatic carrier, then wearing a mask prevents you from sharing the germs that you have and don't even know you're carrying. Uh,
So that's
to actually
I
prevent
think
you from getting it, you have to actually have a aqua whatever layer on the outside. Uh, yeah, the
so
N5095.
so bringing it back to the original topic here, if you're drinking enough alcohol, you should be killing off most of those germs anyway, right? I mean, that's a reason to drink.
I don't know that there's sound logic in that.
Well, don't take that advice. Nobody uses as an excuse to open up a bottle of wine or a bottle of vodka or whatever that bottle is.
No, what you should use as an excuse is building a chair at the cup rest and making sure it works. That's a good enough excuse. So I did this. I had some N95 masks, and the problem with them is that you're not supposed to reuse them. They say if you wash it, you reduce 30% of the effectivity, and then alcohol messes with, I don't know. What I ended up doing was actually just taking the mask and cutting the middle out and just using this part, and then just making cotton filters that I could put inside there. So I have a couple of masks that basically just
I,
hold cotton to your face.
yeah, I've seen several different ways that they like people are doing it. You're the only person I've seen make the mask like yours. Looks a little weird. I'm very self-conscious walking around in public with a mask on and gloves. I'll be honest. It seems just too weird to me.
Well, I think we're one of
John
the
C.
few places that have not accepted that it is still a good thing to do. Have still not accepted
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do.
Yeah. John McSee said you need to have 70% plus to kill the germs. So I guess you've got to do the right stuff. And Steve said you need to make sure you snort it up your nose to get any germs there as well. And Dave said gargle with soapy water. So I mean, that's great. I'm glad we're here right now because there's so much good advice happening in here.
Well, there's advice. I don't know if we want to label it as good or bad. We don't want to, that's it. Things are being said. We can all agree with that, right?
Who am I to judge?
What are you, some kind of judge?
I'm not a judge.
Yeah,
I play one on TV.
it's funny. I don't know. I was talking to somebody I know who's a healthcare professional, and he was just kind of saying he gets a little bit frustrated with the contradictory information we get from governing bodies that say, this is how you should do this is how you should do this, and it's hard. I mean, it's another one of the spots where we all just have to do the best we can, and I think the hardest part for a lot of people is putting aside their personal comfort and doing what they have to just help people. So that might mean wearing a stupid looking mask or dumb ill-fitting gloves or something like that, but if it means less transmission of disease, that's kind of where we gotta just swallow hard and do it, It's frustrating.
Yeah. All right, this is getting heavy, man. Everybody's gonna start leaving.
Sorry. Yay! Welcome to the live stream. Anyhow, yeah, I really appreciate hearing that kind of stuff, guys. So that you are making masks and trying to help out. That's awesome. Or just staying home. Just staying home it's amazing what a big difference now just staying home is making. That's crazy to me. It can help out by not going out.
I feel kind of bad, and I know there's a lot of people that do not have the luxury of being able to work from home, and that sucks. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually kind of finding myself enjoying like this being with my family and doing all this home stuff anyway. I've spent more time in my shop than I have in the last year, so.
It's going to be interesting when this is all over, because there's going to be a transition period where I was talking to a friend last night. He's like, yeah, I've come up with like this new exercise routine in my basement and my front driveway that I do. And he goes, it's going to be hard to go back to like a gym or being able to go out on my road bike. Well, all right.
First world problems, man.
That's right. But it is, that's the one Christopher Ryan pointed out. The tough part is definitely the getting food and supplies is not quite as simple as just popping over to the store like it used to be. So that's the rough part. Well, I kind of feel like we're there. We have gotten to the end of this, and then maybe about 15 minutes passed.
We might have gone a little too far.
We may have kept going.
You didn't make a footrest. I'm kind of disappointed there, but
You're right, I didn't.
I've accepted that. I'm not accepting that. Okay.
Okay, so
because you have.
Here's what we could do for a footrest. Super quick here. I like these slats, so maybe we'll reuse one of these, but using kind of the same. Let's take these. Actually, here let's take these 3 pieces. Bring it straight out here. All right, what could we do with this to make a footrest? So I think
I'd be fine making it flat. That way you can set your case of beer that doesn't fit in your cup holder onto the footrest.
Wow, that sounds like you're settling. Go with just flat, but I told you, I really like to put myself in a position where I may hurt myself. That's my preferred method of, nope, no, here.
Dad really wants you to start with Make Uniques. He wants that to be your
dang it.
point.
Did I do that? Yeah, I did. Undo. Okay. Make unique. We got to make it match. I can't just do some silliness where silly things happen. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to... Nope. Forgot that.
Wow. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out for you. I'm sorry, that's a reference to Dodgeball.
That's a good movie. If you haven't seen Dodgeball, you should probably check that out.
MCAD said you're welcome for the Make Unique tip.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
I like where you're going with this.
Thanks for catching me on that one. We're gonna round it over a little. We're not gonna send some bargain basement woodworking here. We're getting real with this. All right, so I kind of like that look. I'm gonna take all of this, and I am gonna rotate this to flat. And then I'm gonna take, actually, okay, where's my, so drop all of these down just so ever so slightly. We're gonna be just below like that. I need a ground plane to work with too, so I'm gonna go like that. All right, so I'm gonna take this piece right here, take it as it is right now, and I'm gonna rotate it so that that falls more underneath. There we go. I'll take that out like that. And then this piece right here, I'm going to take back to here. Rotate that out. Yeah, I think I'll just make one symmetrical leg. No, so let's get cut, so. Oh, why not? All right, I'll grab this piece, slide it down to there, so it goes through the ground. Awesome. And take this piece, cut straight across. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take this piece. Kind of wonder how much I want to try to match the aesthetic. I don't know. We'll see how this looks. This might be a horrible mess. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. I'll come in here, I'm going to grab 7 of them. We'll see if that works. And I'm going to grab them from this point right here and copy them out to here. I know what you're saying. I'm in context. Don't worry. I got this. Put it right here, and I'm going to rotate. X-ray and get that up like that. All right, I need one more, but that's going to work. Now this is still in context, right? It's inside the group that I had all my other slats on. So what do I do about that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to Command X, I'm going to leave context, and then I'm going to edit paste in place. Paste in place isn't just good for putting stuff into context, also a great way to get it out. All right, this one more piece here I need. I'm going to go, say, take this piece and move it from, let's turn X-ray. Move it from here, option, to here, and then
Oh my goodness. All right. So while you're doing this, Dave Richards asked the group, where did the Terminator find the toilet paper? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this answer?
Yes.
I'll be back. Yeah.
I can find no fault in that.
Yeah. I'm going to see if there's a way we can block him from coming on here.
One pun too many, buddy. I like it, Dave. I like it. All right, so now I'm just going to draw a couple of rectangles here to chop off the feet. And these are unique, so I don't have to be panicking or anything. They are unique now. All right, and then I'm going to take these guys, and then I will, all right, so I want to look at that and see, so I feel like it does need to grab that, make it a group. I do feel like it should go this way. I also feel like it's too wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these guys, make them unique, grab one of them, push it back, make it 4 inches narrower, and grab these, and I can just move them this way 4. All right, and there we go. So if I line that up horizontally, midpoint here, option copy, boom. All right. Take a picture of that and send it over to Izzy, see if he'll hire me.
There you go. You might have to move out to South Carolina or wherever that southern state
That
is.
will be a rough commute.
Yes. Although, hey, right now, doesn't even matter.
That's true. Got to work
Right?
remote. No, that's totally a joke. I did a hack job and messed with some stuff. I think the original design was very cool. And the fact that this, Joey and I were talking about this, the fact that his designs all come out of so few pieces of lumber is pretty impressive. So that's pretty cool. All right. I think that officially puts us there. we went there, we went beyond, then we brought it back, and now we got there again. I don't think it's something, I see what you're saying. What's up with this? I believe the issue, Colin, is this right here. So I will go ahead and reassign Maybe I do have hidden stuff down. Woo!
I kind of agree with Mark that having that leg sitting on the outer extents of the thing just doesn't look right. Like I would do a half lap and merge them all into one thing. But
Yeah,
That's the
I was
nice part.
trying to
Right
I was
now,
trying
we
to
are
go with it, but
completely in.
you're right. You're tucked. It is tucked underneath.
Yeah.
All right, we can do this. We can still do this.
All right.
So if we were to, well, actually, at that point, I might as well just get rid of this leg altogether, right? And then take this. Oh, I don't have space to put that though, do I?
Yeah. What you do is, yeah, let them be half and half. So those two can merge. They can coexist in that plane, but then you have a half lap to where the two are sort of.
So what I can do is take the one that's going to go through. Hey, look, there's a menu with a save on it. All right, and go to my solid tools and use this to trim this. Oh, I guess it did not make that a component. So. All right. Better? I think that would work.
Yeah, that looks good. I'll accept it.
All right, thank you, sir. Cool. Well, that was fun. That was a good time. Yeah, I still feel like I got some geometry somewhere that's not. Oh, that's why. Because of my angle cuts. My my thing extends beyond. Yeah, it still works. Cool. Well, hey, thank you guys for entertaining me for the last few hours. I appreciate that.
I like to think that you also entertained us.
Well,
or yourself.
If so, win-win. But yeah, that was Oh, John's saying it's not good enough. It needs to be half-lapped. Not strong enough.
Yeah, that is true. And Lawrence is repeating his joke, so we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to hear this thing. You can read it.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll do this. And then push that in halfway. Get rid of that altogether. Rotate that again. And then just slide it in. All right. All right, there we go. Whoops. All right, there we go. Now we lap. So
that was not the joint you were looking for.
That little square cutout thing.
You want to talk about structurally unsound?
Yeah, just any place it connects, just cut that out. We'll be good. Awesome. All right, so now we're there. Now it's time to build the chair and go sit in it and test cup holders and that sort of thing. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Jody. Thanks for helping out, as always.
Thanks for having me.
And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Who's back?
Tyson just showed up and said, I could build that too if I had all those tools. Thanks, Tyson. Ugh, that guy.
That's so, I'm out.
On that note.
On that note, I'm done. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This has been a lot of fun. We will keep doing this Monday, Wednesday, Friday until we either get out of this situation or I don't know, somebody gets sick. I don't know what the cause will be to stop. But for the time being, we'll be back here doing another Q&A on Monday. So if you want to drop by with specific questions, I know every once in a while we have people come by and ask questions. How do you do this or this or this? On Fridays, we just kind of go with the modeling flow, and that doesn't always work out. So come back on Monday, ask. Check us out on Wednesday, where we'll be doing kind of a model along, slower modeling process, step-by-step explained. I don't know, would you guys want to do more machine parts, or should we find something else? Let us know in the comments what you think we should do.
I think machine parts every other week. That way, cleanse the palette with, oh, that's just me.
Yeah, no, that works. That sounds good to me. But yeah, let me know if you guys can think of something else. I'll have to find something that we could do. Find a simple plan of something we could model.
Wasn't that a movie starring
A
Aragon?
simple plan. I think his name is actually not Aragon. I think that was a character.
Oh, oh, never mind. Oh, he wasn't even in that. That was a movie with Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton.
Bill
Gosh,
Paxton. That's
I
right.
don't know. Yeah.
Oh, Bob says,
Anyway.
what about Tuesday and Thursday? On Tuesday and Thursday, we release videos, so you can have 10 minutes of us then.
Pre-recorded before a live studio audience.
That's right. Unfortunately, I have other work I still have to do, so can't live stream daily. Who knows? Maybe we'll get there. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Ready?
How about hardware? Nuts, screws, bolts, hinges. Maybe something like that. That could be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of threads. I don't know. Post on the forum.
Yeah,
Here, wait. Let me send you a link to the forum.
that's right. And like I said, I'm going to do a callback to our plan, the plan we worked on, Maker's Playground. Like I said, it sounds like it's right up everybody's alley here, or a lot of us, because if you are woodworkers or something like that, it's a really cool social community that's focused and dedicated to making things. So you don't have to swipe past people's pictures of their pets or what they had for dinner. It's all projects and information about projects. So if you're into that sort of thing, it's cool.
What people had for dinner.
Well, I guess if you eat sawdust or something, it's possible.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Anyhow, that's enough. At this point we're stalling, and I don't know what we're stalling for. It's just dragging it all out.
I'm so lonely.
Sorry, Jody. Get back in the hole. All right. Thank you, guys. You're all awesome. I really appreciate that you hung out with us. Appreciate all your input. And everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
See you guys.